What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first season of the first episode of In My Opinion. My name is King Vance. For those who don't know, for those who do know, it is what it is. This, like I said, this is the first episode. In my opinion, is basically me giving my thoughts, my opinions, of course, of what I think is going on in the world as far as anything and everything, no matter what the topic is. I only speak on what I know, and I only speak on about how much I do know. Anything I don't know, again, is why it's called based on my opinion. I mean, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm finna get to it. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the Black Lives Matter movement, and only because that's still a big thing. It's going to continue to be a big thing until things get fixed, things get changed, and we can finally get some equality around here, get these cops off our ass. But the reason I want to talk about it is because um, over all this time that it's been debated of what's going on, I'm starting to see a lot of people still just don't get it. And from the start of it up until now, it's been a big misunderstanding of what Black Lives Matter means. So no matter how many times we talk about it, it still needs to be talked about. And it's to a point where it really don't make any sense that we still gotta have this conversation. So I'm gonna open the video up talking about Black Lives Matter. Now, that's not the only topic of the video. It's just the first one I'm starting off with. Every video won't be serious. Every video won't be jokes. It'll be a mixture of just a bunch of different things that's going on that I see throughout the week, and then I pick one day to talk about it, and that's how I come up with this video. So, like I said, let's start. Let's get it. So, with the Black Lives Matter movement, it started just to bring awareness to what's going on in the black communities as far as how we losing our lives, and nobody seemed to speak up or really care. Anything from missing women, missing children, and all the killings that's going on, all the non-black people who get to kill black people and get off. It's not always the white people. It's other races, nationalities of things that have happened to black people, and nobody seemed to care. So with that being said, is the purpose of the start was just to bring awareness to everything, just so everybody can look up and go, oh, wait a minute, what's going on over here? Another black man had just been killed for no reason. Like, what was the reason? And a lot of things that irritates me is when these things come out and something happened, is, oh, we got to get the whole story. We got to we got to know everything that's going on. No, we don't have to know what's going on. Like, one thing that made me upset was some of my coworkers who are white, who I thought was cool, who I thought, and like most of y'all out there, we all have white coworkers who we thought was cool. We thought we was friends. Well, not even say friends, but good associates or whatever. I had a few that just don't get it, and to this day they still don't get it. And I cut all ties. I don't have time to keep spoon feeding you information about things that you can see. You see it. We don't have to explain to you how to have compassion for an animal who dies for no reason. Let's not forget what happened to Michael Vick. You know what I mean? Everybody had compassion about that. But black people out here losing their lives, and it's all, oh, we need the full story. Then none of that happened with Mike Vick. You know what I'm saying? When his people was fighting dogs, and it wasn't even him, it was his people. But he went down for it. You know what I mean? So like I said, I had white associates that just didn't get it, and I'm trying to explain to them, and they act like they just couldn't understand it. So for that, I'm gonna break it down again. So the most recent thing that I'm not gonna say that I could think of, but that was like a really, really big topic and a really, really big story that really jump started everything all over again was George Floyd. Now, when it came out of how he passed, was these cops. I think it was 5 cops all together, maybe 4 or 5 cops all together, but I think a good 3 or 4 of them was on his body. So my whole thing was, if you have a fully grown man on the ground, and then you have 3 to 4 cops, which are also full blown adults, grown men, on his body, you already have him contained. There's nothing he can do. We not Superman. You know what I mean? We don't have Superman capabilities. We not finna rise up and still cause havoc with 4 or 5, with 3, 4 bodies on us. So my whole argument to my white counterpart at the time was, there is no need to have your knee in my man's neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds at all. Like, no reason. There is nothing, nothing. And I even played devil's advocate with him. I said, hey, well, okay, let's say he did everything in the world. He resisted arrest, he was fighting all this other stuff. They still got him down on the ground. They still had 3 to 4 bodies on him, and they still put their knee in his neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Was not necessary. Now, of course, I'm speaking before the other videos came out where it showed them putting him in the back seat and roughing him up and then eventually putting him back out into the street. All of that wasn't necessary. If you already had him handcuffed and in the back seat of the car, that should have been the end of it. You taking him down to the precinct, or whatever you want to, whatever y'all call y'all police department, whatever. That'd have been the end of it. He'd still be alive. He'd still be here. His daughter would still have a father. You know what I mean? But that ain't what happened. What happened was they went overboard, and because police officers have been getting away with everything, even if they do get charged, they get off. Like, it's so many of them that has been charged, but then they get found not guilty. And that's where the whole Black Lives Matter comes into play, because y'all are getting away with murder. Y'all are getting away with firing y'all firearms for no meaning whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of names. A lot of names. Like, a lot of names. I don't want to be one of those names. I don't want my sons to be none of those names. I don't want my wife to be one of those names. Because let's not forget the women, the Sandra Blands and the Breonna Taylors that's out there. And forgive me for not throwing out more women names. It's just the 2 names that stands out to me at this very moment of this recording. But I don't need my family to be the next hashtag or to be the next popular topic for a week and then it's on to the next story. I don't need that. And a lot of my old white associates don't get it because they don't live that. You know what I mean? They don't live with that fear. They don't know what it's like to be driving, you minding your business, having a good time in your car, listening to your music, talking to your significant other, or having a conversation with your kids, and then the police get behind you and the whole mood changes. Literally. Like, I don't know if they think we be over exaggerating. I don't know if they think we just be talking just to be talking, but the whole mood of in that car changes. The energy changes. Whether you with somebody or you by yourself, your energy changes. When I'm driving by myself, I am into my music. Or I might just be enjoying the scenery of wherever I'm driving. But once I see a police officer, if he's on the side of me, I'm not really too much tripping. But the moment he falls back or the moment they come up from behind me, my mood has changed. Now I got to worry about if I'm going too fast. I got to worry about if my music is too loud. I have to worry about anything wrong with my car that they can just pinpoint just to have a reason to pull me over, because the difference between black and white is getting pulled over and going home. That's the difference. Now, what I can say is I have been blessed to not have any issues with police officers as far as, getting pulled over. I don't want to run into those issues, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking forward to that. And I don't want to see nobody else have to go through that. Like, I'm tired of the hashtags. I'm tired of this topic, really. We've been talking about this as a community for years. And I'm talking about before it was even popular to talk about. We've been talking about this. This is nothing new. How do you think the 92 LA riot started? Rodney King, right? What happened to him? Got his ass whooped on camera by police officers, and they got off. This shit ain't nothing new, man. Like, this goes back and back and back. And the fact that white people just don't get it, that bothers me. How do y'all not understand that? What if it was us doing that to y'all? Would y'all understand that then? What if we just start going around killing and shooting y'all ass and getting away with it? Black cops just going around shooting random ass white men, unarmed white men that ain't doing anything. And then the first thing y'all like to say is, well, why does it always got to be white and black? Because y'all made it white and black. The same things we fighting for now is what Dr. King and Malcolm X and the Black Panthers and everybody was fighting for over 30 years. I'm 32 years old. All these things we have been talking about and marching for and all this other stuff for over 30 plus years. How much longer are we supposed to fight for it before we actually get it? How much longer is y'all gonna look at us and finally understand and go, you know what? They're humans just like we humans. We got to do something about this. And then don't get me wrong, not all white people is that bad, but right now, the ones that's supposedly on our side, the ones that are speaking up, I salute them. The ones that you think is on your side and not speaking up, those are the ones that it's time to look at them. You know what I mean? It's time to look at them. What we doing? What are you doing? Are you on my side? Do you under? And I don't even want to say sides, but it is a side. And with that is what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that you all don't see? Why is it not no compassion there? The compassion is not there. And that bothers me. That bothers me. Because, and I'm just speaking on me and my experiences with my white associates who were associates. I don't even associate with them no more. I don't even care to associate with them anymore. It doesn't even bother me. Well, I ain't gonna say it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that I lost them as an associate and a possible friend. What does bother me is the fact that every day at work, we can laugh, we can joke, we could talk about any and everything in the world. And then the moment that, because during all this COVID stuff, a lot of us lost our jobs. A lot of us got laid off. A good 90% of my job got laid off. So we haven't seen each other. A lot of us was just, social media friends. So with these topics being thrown out there and Facebook statuses being made, I'm looking at comments and I'm looking at how people is talking, and it's just like, that's wow. That is wow that y'all did not have this same energy when we were all at work together. Because I can guarantee you this: I've never been one that's afraid to speak his mind. And if it comes down to having to throw some hands, I'm throwing them hands, because this is a very sensitive topic to the Black community, and they don't understand that. I don't understand how you can see me, be friends with me every day, and the fact that you can hear news of me being gunned down by the police and I haven't done anything, and you just look at it like, oh man, we gotta know the whole story. But what did he do? What you mean, what did I do? If I'm not armed, if I'm not fighting or resisting arrest, if I'm doing everything possible, I don't know what else you wanted me to do. Because I'm tired of hearing, well, y'all should stop breaking the law. Y'all should do what y'all told. Why don't y'all just listen to what's being said? Okay, well, how many of those people who did listen and still got killed? Again, forgive me for not remembering this guy's name right now, and I don't want to say the wrong name, but the guy who was licensed to carry, that was in the car with his wife and his daughter, told the officer he was licensed, told the officer he had a gun but was licensed to carry it, to have it. The officer asked him to show him his license to carry. And as he reached for it, he still got shot and killed in front of his wife and daughter. What do you say to that? He should have listened. He was listening. He was doing what the officer asked. He shouldn't have broke the law. He didn't break any laws. He didn't do anything. It was a traffic stop. What did he do? That goes back to George Floyd, man. My man lost his life essentially over a counterfeit dollar bill. A counterfeit dollar bill. Whether he had it or he didn't have it, it didn't need to cost him his life. It shouldn't have cost him his life. It's too many times where Black men are looked at as a threat, even when we're not a threat. Why are we like a threat? Why are we a threat to y'all? What is it about us that make us a threat? You feel threatened. Why? You guys get to talk to us any way that you want to talk to us, but the moment we stand up for ourselves and we talk back as men, standing up for ourselves as men, and y'all look at that as, I felt threatened. I felt I felt threatened in my life. You know, he was reaching for something or he was doing something or this, that, and third. But man, I've seen countless videos of white guys doing the absolute most and they are still able to be detained. But when it comes to men in this world that looks like me, that looks like my son, that looks like my dad, grandfather, my cousins, my uncles, so forth, we don't get that same just due. It's automatic pulling a weapon. Officers come up to the side of the car, already got their hand on their gun. Fam, you are ready to shoot me. Why? We ain't even said 2 words to each other yet. We ain't said not 2 words to each other yet. And you ready to end my life. It is sad. It is very sad. One of my old co-workers to this day, it's a black man though, I'm not talking about the white, none of the white ones. It's a black man. He's actually like a big homie to me. He make Facebook statuses all the time. And every time those same white or non-black people is commenting and saying crazy stuff, basically going against everything that we are trying to accomplish as a community as far as getting people to see that Black Lives Matter. They going against it. At some point, get them off your page, bro. I'm not finna keep arguing with y'all. I'm not finna keep going back and forth with y'all to get y'all to understand how we feel and how the black community is being targeted with this stuff. And then you can say the media is blowing it up. You can say that. You can say that they're trying to divide. And if that's the point, and if that's what you think they're doing, then why not use that to your advantage? All right, you know they're trying to split us up. Come on over here anyway. Be on our side anyway. The excuses that y'all are making is crazy. Y'all making way too many excuses. Another good one they like to make is, what do I always keep hearing? White guys die more in the hands of the police than black guys do. And I always see, black people argue with them. No, it's not. It's us. It's always in the news. Woo out the band, da 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 da. And then here come the white people come with the little, statistics. They numbers peoples. So here they come with the statistics. That's fine with me. I'm not going to argue about that. My argument is if you feel like your own people is dying by the hands of the police more than we feel our people are dying by the hands of the police, excuse me, to me, wouldn't it make sense if we all came together and fought the police, or not necessarily like physically fight the police, but go against police brutality? That's basically all we want is equality, to be treated equal, for the police to treat us like human beings. And if y'all feel like y'all getting gunned down just as much as we getting gunned down, then why aren't y'all marching with us? And I'm not talking about the white people that is standing up and marching. I'm talking about the people who literally makes excuses to why we're the ones getting gunned down. Or they try to compare. Don't compare. Join us. It's not a comparison. If we say Black Lives Matter, you saying all lives matter, it can't matter if we the ones that's dying. Black lives is lives too. So if all lives matter, what is wrong, or why can't y'all see that it's wrong that us black people are dying in the hands of law enforcement? And it shouldn't be that way. At least not if we not giving them a reason to. Now, if the police is knocking at my door and I come to the door waving guns and I'm pointing at people and they decide to fire off, then yeah, fine. What did you expect was going to happen? But if my hands are up, why are you shooting at me? Why are you shooting at me? The guy that was breaking up a dispute and got shot in his back 7 times, Jacob Blake, I believe is his name. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, excuse me. I like to just call out situations, and sometimes the name doesn't always pop up like the situation does. So, but right now he's paralyzed, and I think the last thing I read about was he was still fighting for his life, but he's paralyzed. from the waist down. He got 7 shots to the back. There's 2 police officers, if I remember the video correctly. There was 2 police officers walking directly behind him. The man even grabbed him. Why did you even have your gun? If it's 2 of y'all and there's 1 of him, that should have been an easy takedown if you need to take him down. But what are you taking him down for? Because he refused to stop to listen to you, so you shot him? Man, let's take that same logic and use that for our kids. Hey, kid, you didn't do your chores, why didn't you do your chores? You walking away from me? Let me go get the gun in the house and go shoot my child in the back. You see how dumb that shit sounds? That's how dumb these police officers look, man, and y'all just don't get it. And it really hurts that y'all don't get that. And I'm tired of arguing with people on social media. I really am. Y'all have to come and join with us. If you feel like white people, if y'all feel like that y'all are getting gunned down just as much as we are, y'all need to come and join us in this fight against police brutality. Matter of fact, y'all need to be on the front line. They not going to shoot y'all the way they're going to shoot us. And I seen a video where white people built a wall around black people. What is wrong with that? You got people out here still calling white people nigger lovers because they helping us. This is 2020 and there are still people calling people nigger lovers. We still at the bottom of the totem pole. And I know people love to say, well, what about black on black crime? When I'm having that type of conversation, my thing is crime happens any and everywhere, and it happens to the people who are in that area the most. If the area is mostly black, there's going to be black on black crime. If the area is mostly white, it's going to be white on white crime. The area is mostly Hispanic, it's going to be Hispanic on Hispanic crime, and so forth and so forth. My thing with us personally is we have to get out of that mentality of robbing our brother. And when I say that is, we have to get out the mentality of robbing each other or killing each other for no reason. There's a lot of murders out there we commit on each other for no reason. That is the argument that a lot of these people is trying to say or trying to make when they say black on black crime. I don't believe in the term black on black crime, but we do need to get better at how we treat each other. But that's neither here or there. The topic is Black Lives Matter because it does. All lives do matter. I am agreeing with the term all lives matter. But if you're able to see someone who looks like me get gunned down for no reason at the hands of a cop and a white man, and you don't feel no way about that, then black lives can't matter, which means all lives do not matter. It's just that simple. It's that simple. And I can keep talking in circles about this. I'm still going to say the same thing. I'm standing on it. And every white person that I've had an argument with on social media never had a response to me saying, if you feel that way, how come y'all haven't joined us? If you feel like y'all are dying more than we are at the hands of the police, why haven't y'all joined us? And not only can they not answer that, they can't answer how are those white people dying? What are they doing? Y'all want to know everything about us when we die. Y'all quick to go pull up our background. How y'all getting our background that fast? Everybody's background is always, oh, he was charged for this, or he had a warrant for this, or he was this, he was that, he was this, he was that. But when it's white people, he's mentally unstable. It's always about y'all being mentally unstable. Well, sit y'all mentally unstable ass in the house and don't fucking go anywhere. How about that? Why ain't nobody watching y'all unstable asses? Nah, baby boy Jody called females unstable creatures. We gonna rename that for white people. White people are now the unstable creatures. Sit y'all unstable asses at home and don't do nothing. Because if all you serial killers for the white people, they go around doing these mass shootings, school shootings, walking around outside just doing a bunch of crazy shit, is all unstable, somebody should be watching them. And if nobody is watching them, that's a problem. But we not finna continue to use the excuse of them being mentally unstable, but every time it's a black or brown person, it's a thug. We are all not thugs. We're not thugs. Everybody is not a thug. Just like every cop is not a bad cop, every black and brown person is not a bad black and brown person. We're not. At some point, that has to be recognized. It's not recognized. It's not recognized. Everybody want to blame Black Lives Matter for all the riots, murders that have happened since this stuff has started, the fires, the destruction. That's not us. And when I say us, I mean the peaceful protesters of Black Lives Matter. That's not what we standing for. That is not us. There's countless of videos that show a bunch of white people out there throwing shit, starting fires, flipping over cars. That's not us. Black Lives Matter is not even wasn't even supposed to be a real organization. It was something that was chanted when the protesting started, when we wanted to let you all know that Black Lives Matter. It shouldn't have been an organization, because now the organization has taken a change of direction. So now it's becoming something that it shouldn't. It's getting laws and rules changed that doesn't stand for the black community. It stands for a different community. And I'm not going to get into that because I will save that for another time. But that's their agenda. That's not the Black Lives agenda. That's whatever they got going on over their agenda. And what's going on over there has nothing to do with what we're trying to get done over here. So it's false blame being put on the peaceful protesters. And it's not fair. It's not fair at all. It's not fair to the movement, because it's shining a light in an area that's not a great area to shine a light on, but it has nothing to do with us. At the end of the day, we just want to be treated with the same respect that y'all get treated. When y'all get pulled over, y'all not worrying about being shot and killed. You're not. Y'all don't get pulled over because you're in the quote unquote wrong neighborhood, or you're driving the wrong type of car. We get pulled over if our car is too nice, or it looks too, I guess, what you want to call it, too loud. Rims, the tinted windows, paint jobs, the music is too loud, the sounds that we put in the trunks. You know what I mean? Like, we get pulled over for stuff like that. Y'all don't get put over for that. If a white person is driving through the hood, the only people that might look at that weird is the people that's in the hood, because when you from a neighborhood and you from an area, you know the people in that area. You know what your neighborhood looks like. So when you see an unfamiliar face, you just kind of look like, man, who's that? But the police in the area ain't looking at you like, man, let's pull them over. Who is that? But they do that to us. If I just happen to have a family member who's doing good in life and they live in a better community and I'm going to visit, and because to the police officer I don't look like I belong over there, they pull me over, that can turn into me not making it home. And that is the difference between a black man being pulled over versus a white man being pulled over. Again, our women are being killed and kidnapped just like our kids are being killed and kidnapped. And just recently, social media blew up about all them kids that got found in Georgia. I have not once seen any major media cover it. It's all over social media though. Celebrities are talking about it. Everyday people that I talk to is talking about it. It's all over social media. But I have not seen none of the major networks talk about it. Why not? Gotta protect our kids, man. All of that ties into Black Lives Matter. No one cared that our women is missing and dying. No one cared that our kids are missing and being sold. This world is crazy. And is when sometimes when you sit back and you think about it, for us who have kids, we look at life a little different when we start realizing just how messed up this world is. And I'm not saying people who don't have kids don't understand or they don't think about it, but I'm just speaking on someone who have kids. This is a very serious thought. Like my oldest is 15. What if he one of them 15-year-olds that's out with his friends and we got another Central Park 5 on our hands? You know what I mean? My middle son is 11. What if I got another Tamar Rice on my hands? Or Tamir Rice, I'm sorry, forgive me. Tamir Rice. What if I got another Tamir Rice on my hands? My youngest son is only 5 years old. What if the police shooting at me and he catch a stray? Like people don't think about these things. For those of you who have daughters, because I have all boys, but for those of you who have daughters, have to worry about a lot of things that come with being a woman and a young woman. Get kidnapped, being sold, being raped, all kind of things come with that. And I know men as well, as far as young men in the world deal, they get kidnapped, have to deal with that as well. But just women, just that just feels different when it's about a woman being kidnapped and raped and killed and all this other things is going on. Like this is serious, and this is why to the white people that I can have a conversation with, who might not have seen our point of view, but you could tell by what they saying, they starting to go, okay, you know what, I never looked at it like that before. I never, even though I feel like it's no excuse to not be able to have compassion. There's no excuse for that, to not be able to have compassion for somebody just because they're not the same skin color as you. There's no excuse for that. I can feel the same way about a white man being killed for no reason, the same way I can feel about a black man being killed for no reason. It's compassion. It's called being human. It's there. It's in you. If you don't have that in you, then something is just wrong with you. But it shouldn't take me to have to convince you. Is me talking to you shouldn't be convincing. You seeing the things that's going on every day should be convincing enough to go, that's not right. It gotta be something I can do to fix this. And a lot of y'all don't get it until we go, okay, well, what if that was your mama? With the whole George Floyd thing, what if that was your dad on the ground with a knee in his neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds? You still want to know the full story? No. What if that's your son on the ground for 8 minutes and 45 seconds? Your brother, your cousin, nephew, grandfather, brother, best friend, like whoever, somebody that means something to you. What if that's them on the ground for 8 minutes and 45 seconds? Would you still need and want the full story of what happened? No, because you're going to look at it like it's 3 to 4 of y'all on this man's body. Yet and still you felt it was needed to put your knee in my man's neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds and then try to justify that. It's nothing to justify. They could have just held him down. That's fine. But like I said earlier, didn't even need to get that far because there's a video that shows he was already in the back seat of the car. So he was already in the back seat of the car. How he get out the car? The video shows him being handcuffed. Y'all walked him to the car handcuffed. It don't even show how he got in there, if I remember correctly. I don't remember it showing how he got in there. I just remember it showing him being walked to the car with his hands behind his back. And then it jumps to him being in the car. And it looks, I'm assuming it looks like they're getting licks off of him while he's in the car. And the next thing you know, he's out the car. Laying on the ground with a knee in his neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Yet and still, it's so many of y'all that's talking about we need to know the full story. I'm sorry. The full story was somebody called the police on him because he had, quote unquote, maybe not, counterfeit money. And then the story comes out that these fools know each other. So the fact that you even know this man and you still able to do this, you don't have to be friends, but you know of this man. Y'all are associates of some sort, and you can still do this to him. You people are. I know black people get offended when we hear white people say "you people," but man, you people are wild, man. Y'all are wild. And we're trying to keep the peace. We really are. Black people are the most forgiving people in this world when it comes to forgiving outsiders who do us wrong. People are still tap dancing for white people. There are black people out here still tap dancing for white people in the middle of all of this mess. I'm not tap dancing for nobody. Y'all can kiss my ass. Honestly, I'm not doing it. And a new story that I've read probably about a week ago. I'm not gonna say a couple weeks, probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks tops. Guy named Elijah Weatherspoon, black man, went on a little trip with his friends, 7 of his friends, and they was gone for like 2-3 days, I want to say, and he was the only one to not come back home. And when police started to investigate, his 7 friends all have different stories, right? That automatically raises a red flag to foul play. Something is wrong. If everybody went on this trip together, why do everybody have different stories about what happened or what maybe happened to this man? And I didn't want to get into the whole color situation, but his friends are all white. All 7 friends he went on this little trip with are white. And only reason I want to leave out the white part is because honestly, I'm looking at it as it's just foul play. He was with some friends that he shouldn't have been with because obviously they weren't his friends. That can happen with anybody with any color of friends. The reason I'm bringing the color into it is because the color is what made the headline, which can prove a point to where the media is always trying to pin us against each other. Because that situation is no different than me going out somewhere with my friends and I'm the one that not come home and the police questioning them and nobody have answers. Same situation. I feel like the media does play a part in splitting us up. We have to be smarter and stick together. And the only people that is smart enough to realize that we're being split are white people. But those same white people won't use that to come together and say, hey, fuck y'all. We're one. We understand what's going on. This shit is not right. That boggles my mind. I don't understand how that works. You mean you can sit here and you can tell me, hey man, the media is doing this, the media is doing that, don't fall into it, this, that, and the third, but then turn around and say, you have no compassion to what's going on with my people though. How does that work? How does that work? I don't get how that works. These police officers should be in jail. They get off about everything, and that's not cool. And I'm just trying to understand how they don't understand that. It's not that hard to understand. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy. I get caught up on my words because sometimes it messes with my mind how hard it can be for people to really understand what someone else is going through. but not even on a personal one-on-one, just as a community. White community seem to be lost on what we're going through in the black community, even when they see it on their TV. Oh, they always want to make it a race thing, make it a race thing. It is a race thing. It's a race thing. It is. Your people made it that way, not mine. You know? Mines ain't going around burning people's houses down, mad because slavery don't exist anymore. Your people did that. My people ain't killed the men and raped the women. I don't even want to get into that part because I'm still lost on how y'all hate us so much that you want to rape our women. You didn't want to rape our women. Y'all wanted to fuck our women, man. Y'all saw how bad our women look compared to y'all women, was like, yo, I want to try that. And disguised it as rape. That's what that was. Y'all wanted to know what it was like to make love to a black woman. And at the same time, be disrespectful to the black man by making him watch it. And then y'all wonder where the hate comes from. That's where the hate comes from. Stuff like that. That type of thing is where our rooted hate comes from. The question is, where do y'all rooted hate come from? What have we ever done to y'all? Historically. If we want to go to the beginning, let's go to the beginning. What have we ever done to y'all? Because for us, it starts with slavery. And I'm speaking just on the black community. I'm not even talking about the Native Americans y'all screwed over. I'm not even going to get into all that. But just us, people with my skin color. Started with slavery. And then once that was over, y'all took it to whole new levels. Harassing, killing, bombing. Hell, sounds like 2020 to me. Same things. And then people want to start talking about how, oh, well, why don't y'all do peaceful marches? Everybody want to destroy stuff. Well, I'm sorry. We've been doing peaceful marches for like 30 plus years, man. What them peaceful marches got us? What did that get us? Y'all killed the most peaceful leader we had. How much more peaceful do you want us to be? We get any more peaceful, we're going to be quiet. Being quiet is not going to do anything. Y'all going to continue to do what y'all been doing. At some point, it's going to come to a nasty end. And to avoid that, y'all just need to start treating us and showing the same equality and respect that you would show your own kind. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for special privileges. Me personally not asking for special privileges. Just leave me alone, bro. If y'all don't like me, just leave me alone. I don't understand how people, and I don't want to take it off of a black and white thing, but just in general, when you don't like someone, leave that person alone. People are so intent with just going out of their way to make somebody's life that they don't like hell. Why are you putting so much energy into something or to someone you don't like? That you don't like. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's my take. That's my take on Black Lives Matter. Just trying to get our white counterparts to understand what we go through. And I probably missed some points that I probably had, I probably talked about with other people on social media, you know. But yeah, I don't see it getting any better before it gets worse. And when I say worse, I don't necessarily mean more killings. I mean like a full out civil war goes on between the black community and police officers and white people. Like I see that happening before anything changes, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that happening. Um, but yeah, that's my take on that. So like I say, these videos is not gonna really be all serious and all jokes and stuff like that. It's gonna be a mixture of topics. Um, I hate to really jump off this topic this way and to change to another one, but yeah. So the next thing I was gonna bring up was this whole Kels R. Kelly being beat up in jail. So for those who's watching this video and they know me on a personal level, knows that I'm a huge R. Kelly fan, even with the stuff he got going on in his personal life. I don't rock with none of that stuff. So you know, I have conversations with people who look at me and go, "Oh, but you still listen to his music, this, that, and the third." Yeah, I do. That doesn't mean I agree with what he was doing in his personal life. I don't know the nigga personally. Like, you know, I'm not friends with this nigga. I can't help that I listen to this nigga music. I grew up on his music. Again, I'm only 32 years old. So when Born into the 90s and stuff came out in 90, 89, 90, something like that, I was only like 4 years, 4 years old, fam. Like, I mean, I wasn't even that old. I'm tripping. 89, 90, I was only like 3 years old. So, come on, man. I grew up on this man music. So, yeah, that don't mean I agree with what he was doing. I feel sorry for those women for going through that type of experience. Because, like I say, women shouldn't be treated in that way. Um, I really wasn't turning this into a Kels and the women's situation. I just wanted to talk on him getting beat up in jail. But real quick, I'm going to say that I feel like a lot of that R. Kelly outrage to me was false. Only because had everybody jumped on this whole cancel R. Kelly, ban R. Kelly, all this other goofy shit that y'all got going on now with R. Kelly, if this would have happened when it came out when he married Aaliyah, so many more women would have been saved. If I said a lie, let me know. If you're watching this video, if I said a lie, please put in the comment I'm lying. Put it in there. Had everybody been on his ass when he married Aaliyah, knowing that girl was only 15 years old, anything that came after that wouldn't have happened because he should have been arrested. And even though he wasn't arrested, people knew this. If I know this and I grew up knowing this, people older than me knew this. Once again, I'm 32 years old. Anybody in my generation, my age bracket and higher, you all knew this. You got people walking around, oh, I forgot all about that, or the child pornography stuff that happened. Oh, I forgot all about that, man. If you fuck all that. If you from Chicago, you ain't forget none of that shit. The tape was floating. Everybody named Mama seen this tape. Even if you ain't from Chicago, everybody seen the tape. You had comedians making fun of him. You had TV shows making fun of him. You had people in their music making fun of him. Hell, even 50 Cent made fun of him all the way back in like 2004, 2005. Y'all mean to tell me this was what within recent years? I want to say no later than 2017. You mean tell me 2017 up until now, y'all just not want to ban R. Kelly because a documentary came out? When we knew all this information way before the documentary came out? Now y'all want to ban him? And because I choose to keep listening to his music, everybody looking at me like, oh, you still support him and la da 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 da. I'm a fan of the music. I can't help it. I like what I like, fam. It doesn't, listen to his music does nothing for me as far as thinking about that stuff. And a lot of y'all that's claiming y'all been stopped listening to R. Kelly, you're lying. No, you haven't. You ain't been stopped listening to nothing because when Trapped in the Closet came out, that's all everybody talked about. You was listening to him then. He was still that sick bastard then. When he made Step in the Name of Love, I believe that was before the Trapped in the Closet. So y'all was still listening to him then. Like, come on, man. when he made Black Panties, which is one of his coldest albums to me. Y'all niggas was listening to it. Because when I was making Facebook status talking about it, everybody was talking about what their favorite song was. So to sit there and say, you better stop listening to him, you a goddamn lie. It's okay to say you don't agree with what he do in his personal life and still listen to his music. Let's not act like we ain't done that with these actors. With these athletes. We don't know what their personal life is like. And if the industry that they're in ain't blackballing them, and I don't even want to say blackballing them, but if the industry that they're in ain't getting them the fuck up out of here, how you mad at me? How you mad at me? The label didn't drop them. The music industry didn't shut them out. Your favorite artist still worked with them. Your favorite artist still got a song written by him. But you're mad at me. Do y'all understand what cancel R.Kelly really means? I'm a very technical person. I take everything really, really, really technical. And if you know me, you know that. For those of you watching this video, if you know me, you know that. I take everything technical. So let's get technical. If you want to cancel R.Kelly, you got to cancel everything R.Kelly. Which means everything he's ever written and produced, shut it down. Yeah. Michael Jackson, shut it down. Whitney, shut it down. Stevie, shut it down. Chris, Trey, Tyrese, Tank, Joe, shut it down. Shut it down. B2K, Omarion, shut it down. Sparkle, shut it down. Changing Faces, shut it down. These are just names I'm coming up with that I could think of off the top of my head. I didn't research none of this. This is just stuff that I know being an R. Kelly fan. You have to shut everything down that you don't like about this man. Not just his music. He has writing and producer credits, which means he gets paid for that. So if you still listen to their music and the songs that he written for them, and he written some of their best songs, you're still putting money in his pocket regardless. So shutting him down is shutting him down, man. But anyway, the whole thing was for me to talk about him being beat up in jail. I applaud him getting beat up in jail. He need his ass whooped. Some of y'all probably looking at me like, what the fuck? Yeah, he need his ass whooped. Like I said, I'm a fan of the music. I'm not a fan of what he did in his personal life, because had that been my sister or my mom or anybody, he'd have been dealt with, bruh. I'm sorry. My mom and my sister know how I move. He'd have been dealt with. If you know me on that personal, again, I know I keep saying this, but for people who's watching this video that know me personally on that level, you know it'd have been dealt with. I ain't talking about the people who think they know me because we probably went to school or we associates because we went to work together or something. No, people who know me on that particular level, that knows the people that I know, that I can get shit moving, he would have been dealt with. All these fathers talking about how they was calling and showing up and nobody was coming to the nail. Okay. Yeah, all right. You got to come out that building at some point. Best believe some niggas is going to be waiting on you. Niggas can say what they want to say. All that shit was about money. All of it. And them young girls suffered. Them young girls suffered because their parents was money hungry. Because at the end of the day, your child was a minor when you decided to let that man think he was going to do something for her music career. Think about that. You let your daughter, your minor daughter, go off with a grown-ass man. At least one parent shouldn't have been there. The mother, the father, somebody. Not an uncle, not a cousin, not none of that. A mother or a father, if not both, should have been there the whole way. And if things ain't worked out the way he claimed, go. But again, I wasn't trying to get into all that because y'all not gonna rock with me with that. You know what I mean? So I'm not even gonna waste my time talking about that. So my whole thing was the whole thing of him getting beat up. I applaud the nigga that beat him up. Apparently he was supposed to be some high-ranking Latin King member. I don't even know how they end up in the same cell, but kudos to him. And if I could put some money in that nigga books, I would. Like, he need to get beat the fuck up. That's what some of these fathers should have done, or knew somebody who can get that done. There's no way R. Kelly should have been going all these years untouched. Behind him doing all these things that people were saying he was doing to these young girls. Should have been touched. Should have been touched. And speaking of jail, that brings me to my next topic that I recently thought about within the last couple of days before recording this video is a big thing with snitching. And I'm only thinking about this because we're talking about, R. Kelly being in jail. So, yeah. So, snitching. Snitching has always been a no-no. And the new word for snitching to me has become the word statement. Oh, man, he made a statement, bro. He snitched. Statement doesn't always mean somebody snitched. Making a statement means just that. You made a statement. Another reason it's a big topic for me is because there's a local rapper from Chicago named Tay 600, who now goes by Tay Capone, who was accused of snitching on two other rappers from his neighborhood, from his crew, that got them put in jail. But there was never no official paperwork to show that he snitched on them. It was no secret that the girls that they hang out with snitched on them. But they all put the snitch jacket on him, said that he made a statement. Now, I've seen so much paperwork that I don't know what's real and was not real. And I know that you can go on, certain websites and pull records because they public. And I wanted to do that, and I haven't done that yet because it's so much. I low key really don't even care if he did tell or not tell. I'm not that invested. I just feel like his homeboys should have been across the board with the whole snitch movement. Like, and for those who don't know, he's connected with Lil Durk and King Von. If y'all know those names, then that's the crew that he's from. So everybody that's connected with that has been calling him a snitch and saying he's a snitch since Rondo and C-Day got locked up. And that's why this is a topic for me. I don't want to talk about him per se, just the whole statement and snitching. If me and one of my closest homeboys get booked on something and the police come in and ask me a question and I make a statement, my statement is not necessarily me snitching on my boy. My statement is whatever I told them. And I get why some people say, hey, if you make a statement, you snitch, because we were all taught to not say anything. Don't talk, don't say nothing. Ask for your lawyer, don't say anything, because whether the police know or don't know, whatever you say, they can twist it, they can turn it. That's why they say whatever you say could be used against you in the court of law. That's why we are taught to not say nothing, which is why I understand why people seem to think that making a statement is snitching. It's not snitching unless you actually snitched. My statement could be telling the police to go suck my dick. That's still a statement. Y'all remember the part in, what was that movie? With Mark Wahlberg and Tyrese, Four Brothers. Remember at the end of the movie when the police was whooping their ass in the interrogation room because they was talking shit, and when they came out, and he was like, I didn't say nothing, and Mark Wahlberg was like, I did, and they looked at him like, what you tell him? Oh, I told him I was banging his wife. That's a statement. That's a statement he made. I was banging his wife. For those of you who don't understand that a statement doesn't mean that you necessarily snitch, tell me this. Who did he snitch on when he told him I was banging your wife? He didn't snitch on his brothers. He didn't even snitch on the motherfuckers they was going to war with. He just told the nigga I was banging your wife. Y'all have to stop saying such and such made a statement so he snitched. No. Find out what the statement was before you put that jacket on someone, because it's hard to take that jacket off. And when you're really in the streets and you're that deep into the streets, that can get you killed. And if you didn't snitch, you essentially died for no reason. It's a false rumor. And if that's really your homeboy, hear him out first. Hear him out. Understand, like, Nah, my man ain't built like that. He ain't just finna snitch on us. Let me go holler at him and see what's up. Let me see what's real. And yeah, he probably will lie. Man, no, I ain't snitched. But you know, is ways to figure out somebody snitch. Man, talk to him. Really, yo, man. Hey, the police said such. Woo, woo, this is what you said, bro. What? Damn, bro, you really snitched. Now, if he hit you with that, y'all know what them looks is. If he hit you with that damn uncaught look, like, damn, police told, damn, why the fuck the police? Yeah, he told at that point. But if he holding his ground, like, what? Nah, fam, what? Like, if he really standing on business and you know your man, then ride with it until it's been proven, bro. Like, don't just throw the nigga name out there and say the nigga snitch and he really didn't snitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a small topic of what I want to bring up as far as the statement and the snitching thing. If y'all feel different, leave comments and leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. The next topic I want to bring up is the versus battles. These versus battles have been the next big thing since we've been on this quarantine lockdown type of COVID situation that we in right now. But I think a lot of people are judging these battles different, and they judging these possible battles different. When I say possible battles, I mean people names that we throwing out there that we want to see personally. But the battles that have been done and the battles that we want to see, everybody's not judging them the same. Everybody have they own favorite artists, they own favorite records. Essentially, when it first started, the battles was based on hits. And when we say hits, we mean songs that charted. As long as they charted, it could count as a hit. Because everybody knows you can have a favorite song and it doesn't chart. That means the rest of the world didn't feel the same way you did. But if it charted, at least there was enough people to feel the same way you did about this song. So some of y'all have y'all favorite songs off an album, off y'all favorite artists, that somebody else probably never heard. You have to be a real fan to know some of the songs off these albums if it wasn't a single. So essentially it's 20 singles. Your best 20 singles is needed for this battle. And I've noticed over the course of watching some of these battles, depending on depending on what battle it was, they didn't have 20 records that were singles. A lot of the songs, a good 5 or 6 songs was like album cuts. And some of them worked because majority of people was rocking with it. Like, by us being that much of a fan, we know the song. But you have some people who fan base isn't that strong to where everybody is listening to the whole album. We only want the songs that's on the radio. And people is picking a battle based off their favorite artist. That's not how that works. Yeah, you could like this artist better than this artist, but if this song is better than that song, then guess what? The point went to them. And then now it's getting to a point where the battles is not really a battle. They want to call it celebrations now. Oh no, it's not a battle, it's a celebration. I think the first time I heard that was when Snoop and X went head to head. It might have, somebody else's battle could have been called a celebration too, but I remember it, Snoop and X, because I feel like those my favorites. And again, people who know me personally know that Snoop is a big favorite of mine. It's like a big favorite. And X is as well. X is also a favorite rapper of mine. And when I realized they was going up against each other, I thought that's interesting. Like, they both have that dog character as far as being rappers, but they're totally different. So that was going to be interesting to see. And then they started talking about, everybody started calling it a celebration, not a battle. And I'm like, okay, to me, that just tells me that y'all are giving X a crutch because Snoop got records. And X would have too. He just been in so much damn trouble. He can't stay consistent with his music. But when I hear celebration, I feel like you're giving one of the artists a crutch to basically say, hey, we know you're going to lose, but your music should still be celebrated. So we're just going to call it a celebration. But with these versus battles, to me, I'm still counting it as a battle. It's a battle. X lost. X lost. This battle with Monica and Brandy that just happened, Monica lost. I had it tied at first. I'm not gonna lie. The first go around, I had it tied, and Monica started off strong for like the first three. I think the first three, four. I think the first three songs, the first 3 or 4 songs that they had, if I remember, I gave those points to Monica, and then Brandy made a strong comeback, and then it kind of went back and forth for me for a minute. But I think I end up essentially giving Brandy the W by like a song or two. But I'm still counting them as battles. When Fab and Jadakiss went head to head, I was looking at it like, yeah, I fuck with Fab, that's my nigga and all, but he let Jada get him the hell up out of here, and that shouldn't have happened. Fab got way too many radio records that were bigger than Jadakiss, and then the songs Jadakiss played. If you're not a real Jadakiss fan, you don't even know the records he played. So I'm pretty sure it was plenty of people who saw that and was like, I don't even know what he's playing. And the same could be said for Fab, because again with these battles, we know the records that we love. So watching these battles, those are the records we looking for as the fans. Oh, when they gonna play this, when they gonna play that, and then they don't play it, you like, damn, he didn't even play this. If he'd have played this, you know? So that's how I feel about that. But yeah, these battles, man, the battles, they've been good. I've been loving them. Oh, one more thing about the battles that I don't like is the people that's proclaiming to be too big to do them. Chris Brown, one of them, the main one, he went on record to say, I'd be better off battling myself. Fam, look, as a fan of Chris Brown, I do agree that he would get a lot of niggas the fuck up out of here in the battles. He would. But to say that you would be better off battling yourself, you kind of being disrespectful to the people who could give you a go, if not beat you. We live in a world where it's what have you done for me lately, so people forget about motherfuckers like Usher. Usher is not a Usher is not an artist you gonna get the fuck up out of here quick, fast, in a hurry. Usher whole Confessions album is hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. That does not count none of his other albums where he have hit records on. Usher Confessions album is a Verzuz within itself. He has at least 10 songs on that album, at least 10, that the whole world knows. And that's probably me being light to say he got 10, because I'm pretty sure the whole world knows the whole album. The shit went diamond, which means it sold worldwide very well. 10 million records sold. Bow Wow. Now, I know a lot of people made fun of Bow Wow because they feel like he don't have enough songs or he don't have a 20. I feel like Bow Wow have a 20. Bow Wow he has a strong 20. The thing is who would he battle? The thing is with Bow Wow, is his 20 strong enough to actually battle somebody else to have a 20? And I know they threw Romeo out there, and honestly, Romeo ain't got a 20. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I like Romeo as a man, as a person, and the things that he's doing. He's doing great in life because of the father that he has, which is Master P, smart guy. Taught his son very well. He's following his footsteps, and they are doing it. But musically, Romeo ain't got 20. He does not have 20. I know 2 Romeo songs, and I'm not being funny. I am dead ass serious. I know 2 Romeo songs, and that's the very first song he came out with that sampled the Jackson 5, and the UK Shine Like Me, which was a response to Bow Wow's Fresh As I'm Is. That's the only 2 songs I know of Romeo. I don't know any other songs, at least not off the top of my head. Maybe if I sit down and really think about it, I could probably come up with a few more, but that's how you know where you stand as an artist when people could think of your hits right off the bat. If I can't think of your hits, nigga, you ain't got no hits. And it's not me not being a fan, because I can say I don't know every last Stevie Wonder hit, but I know Stevie Wonder got fucking hits because a lot of his hits has been redone by a generation of singers that I do know. I didn't grow up listening to Stevie Wonder, but because of the songs that were remade that were his, I know of him. I know his name. I know what he looks like. But it might have been a song I heard. Like, okay, to give an example of that, I don't want to get off topic, but to give an example would be Darnell Jones doing "Knocks Me Off My Feet." The first time I ever heard that song was from Darnell Jones. And then somebody told me it was a remake of Stevie Wonder. So it made me go back to listen to Stevie Wonder's version. My first time hearing that was from Darnell Jones, and it was off the Thin Line Between Love and Hate movie soundtrack. But again, Romeo doesn't have those records. Bow Wow would clean get him the fuck up out of here. Um, but Bow Wow got records, man. And a lot of things people don't understand is some of the records means a lot to people because of what it meant to them when it came out. So let's just say he does a verses and he plays Jumpin' Jumpin' remix that he was on. I think it was Jumpin' Jumpin' remix that he was on with Destiny's Child. Now, for the people who are going to watch that and hear that, you have a whole bunch of Destiny's Child fans who love that record and are going to give him the point just because he was on that record and it's Destiny's Child. The same way people would give somebody a point if they played a song they got with Jay-Z, a record they got with Pac, like when Snoop and DMX was battling. When Snoop got into his Nate Dogg and Tupac bag, it wasn't nothing DMX could do with that. I don't care what song DMX played. You was not going to beat a record that had Nate Dogg singing on that hook. And you was not going to beat a record that was going to beat two of America's Most Wanted. Those are the type of songs that I'm talking about when I say hit records. Songs that make a person think like, damn, I ain't going to be able to beat that song. The Rick Ross and 2 Chainz. Niggas knew Rick Ross was going to get 2 Chainz the fuck up out of here. 2 Chainz knew Rick Ross was going to get him the fuck up out of here. 2 Chainz knew it in the battle. When he kept making those comments like, oh, you going to do me like that, or the bully, yeah, it's the bully. He kept calling him a bully because he knew he wasn't going to be able to stand up to those songs. And I think that's when they started calling it a celebration or some shit like that because they knew 2 Chainz was going to win. And 2 Chainz got records, don't get me wrong. The songs that he played could have got somebody else the fuck up out of here, but nobody. The catalog of Ross, to the point where Ross still have plenty of songs he didn't play, he could have played. And Ross knows this. I believe he said that. I saw the headline. I didn't see the interview, but he said it himself. I still have 20 more I can play in another versus battle. Who else wants some? He's deboing niggas. And he's going to keep deboing niggas until he run into Craig and get hit with that brick and a 2x4 and it's over with. Like that, I don't know. So, yeah, man. So I'm just going to end the video there. I feel like it's too long already, especially for a first video. I probably lost a lot of y'all, but it's cool. Yeah, but if you sat through the whole thing, I appreciate it. That's love, respect. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're not new to YouTube, so hey, if you like it, you already know what to do. And if I see you in the next video, I'll see you in the next video, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Peace out.